Yeah.
Guys, welcome back to the Eskandy Sports Podcast. We're back from Vegas. Vegas is really good for me.
Vegas was good.
Vegas is good. Guys, we're only 80 subscribers away from me being able to infiltrate this program with just a ton of ads. Help me pay for these mics, right?
But hey, help my guy out.
We got to work for it. But guys, we're back. I'm here with a special guest. I say that every podcast, but I'm super excited for you because we're here with Christian Vitale. Obviously, Christian, how are you doing today?
Doing well in yourself?
I'm doing good. It was hard dragging you away from that basketball going on.
Yeah, there's some good hoops going down. I love to see basketball anytime I get to be around the game. That's where I'm at home.
Yeah, we got CNIT for the Young Bucks going on downstairs.
For sure.
You got a couple favorites, a couple of future honey badgers in there, you think?
Hey, hopefully. I mean, there's some kids with some dog down there, so, I wish them the best for sure.
Yeah, okay. So, usually this program is, like, central to, like, Canadian guys. Mm-hmm. But you're not Canadian.
No, I'm not Canadian.
You're from Queens, New York. Dude, I've always wondered what it's like for a kid to grow up in New York. Like, for me, I only know, like, the suburbs, like, the public school, you can just walk there. Like, did you have to, like, take a subway to school or something?
No, not the subway, but I did have to take the bus.
Yeah.
Had to wake up before the sun was up for sure. And, just take an hour-long bus ride, have to transfer and stuff like that. But it's an experience, to say the least, for sure.
So, it's just crazy for me to think about, like, so grocery shop, all that stuff. It's just growing up and say, so you know nothing else though.
No, I mean, I went to boarding school kind of early and stuff like that. But the city's an experience. It's like something you got to experience. It's hard to talk about. You can see the stuff on Instagram or social media, and Bing Bong and all that funny stuff. But the city is home. It's a lot. It's a lot of good. It's some things that people wish that we could do better with. But it's home.
When's the last time you've gotten to be like home? Like, have you been? You've been all around lately.
Home. I haven't been. Definitely not in 2022.
Yeah.
Not even in 2021. Yeah. So actually, I had to go home for my grandfather's funeral. Actually, I think that was the last time I was like in the city and had to like physically be there and stuff like that. So yeah, that was actually the last time.
Yeah, that's.
Nah, it's all good though. He's straight. That's my dog. He good.
Yeah, I got you. So obviously, a big question when it comes to New York is the king of New York. You got a king of New York?
Nah, no king in New York. There's a lot of kings in the city, though. There's a lot of kings in the city. It won't just hard to just give one person that title, but there's a lot of steppers out there for sure.
What kind of music do you listen to? Who do you listen to?
It could be from anybody. It could be from Future, Lil Baby, Boogie, Pop Smoke. Throw some Dave East on.
Yeah.
Feel me? Some Thames, you feel me? Burna Boy. I could, you feel me? Switch it up, depending on the vibe and the day.
Your teammate, Caleb God, loves Thames.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
He's on and on about Thames. Well, I wanted to ask you, because the real first question I wanted to ask you about was your game against J. Cole.
J. Cole and Drake is on that. You definitely can't go wrong.
What was it? Was it 27-6-4 or 24-6-4? I forget.
It was enough for the win.
Yeah.
You feel me? It was enough for the win. So whatever they want to put up, I just know that we ended up with the dub for sure. So that was lit.
But it's an atypical moment. Like, you're going up against like one of Billboard's top artists.
No.
A lot of people's favorite rapper, J. Cole.
For sure.
He checks in the game. What are you thinking?
He gotta get a bucket. First of all, I'm really on the court with Cole. That's because I see him hooping over at Chris Brickley's gym down at Life in the City and stuff like that. But I've actually never, got to play against him. So to actually just in that environment, I believe it was Scarborough's first home game too. It was their home opener. So Drake was obviously in the building. He was courtside. So it was a lot going on in there. But it was lit. It was a great atmosphere for sure.
But you saw him, you're like, you got to get a bucket on him.
Yeah, I mean, not really. It ain't not on the court. It was just we got to win this game. It was a lot bigger than that for me personally. But I definitely noticed J. Cole was on the court. I think I hit a 3 on him or something like that. So
is it talked about at all in the locker room and stuff like that? Like, yo, are people geeking over Cole? Are you guys trying to keep it low?
Nah, I mean, for sure. I mean, we're not gonna get it twisted. Cole, and then he can go platinum, no features or something like that. So obviously we know what it is, but for our season, we knew it. We needed to come out of here with a win. That was the most important thing. That was the only thing on the agenda, and everything that came else with that was just extra. But a win was obviously the priority.
You mentioned that you've seen Cole at Berkeley's gym in the
Mhm.
city. So you've had interactions with him prior?
No,
Like,
nah, I haven't.
no.
I just, you see it on Instagram and
Right.
stuff like that, or him balling somewhere
Right.
else. So he loves the game though. So credit to him for sure. Like he's a hooper at heart. Everyone loves to play basketball.
Yeah.
Was the best sport on earth. So but he couldn't help them with that game. They couldn't do no.
Yeah, you got him pretty good. But I've heard a lot about Berkeley. Berkeley's like a notorious trainer. You know
No,
that?
for sure. No, he's a really good trainer. A lot of my boy Donovan trains with him. A lot of my boys down in the city, get to be a
Sorry, when you say your boy Donovan,
Donovan Mitchell.
yeah, you can't just say your boy Donovan.
Nah,
This program, 'cause,
nah,
like,
he's
I was thinking Donovan Mitchell, but I'm like,
nah. Donovan Mitchell, he's great people. But you just see a lot of you see him and a lot of guys I grew up playing against and other NBA guys as well, just at that gym, and it looks like a great environment. LeBron comes down, everything like that. So he got some of the best runs in the city for sure. So.
so Donovan being he's from the city as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's his home. It's your home. Is there any? I'm not gonna ask if you want to play on the Knicks, but is there any sort of nostalgia? Is it like you'd imagine like a guy from here wanting to play for the Raptors type thing? Like,
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, anytime you get to play for your home city, that's
yeah,
that's an extra boost in itself.
yeah,
But it's real life and,
yeah,
it's business. So if it don't work out, it is what it is. But I mean, growing up for sure, I
yeah.
definitely love the Knicks. Still do love the Knicks. I
Right.
wish the best for them. That's my whole town team. But
Yeah.
I'm in a different space than I was as a kid.
So what's the relationship with Brooklyn like then? Is that just like
Brooklyn, I mean,
KD
they
jersey?
technically they got KD and Kyrie right now, so they always gonna sell out. But they was like they
Yeah.
not the Knicks.
You're not talking
It
about them
ain't
like the
nah.
Knicks.
It is. We appreciate them. We
Yeah.
appreciate the services. It brings another team to the city, so that's definitely lit. But yeah, Knicks though. Knicks
Yeah.
for me personally. It is what it is.
Well, Donovan Mitchell still has a chance of seeing that through. I'm not gonna get you to comment
Yeah,
because I don't even want.
I wish my boy the best. That's all. This business is crazy. That's all. That's all I can say.
But here at my cheat sheet, I got you here as an honorary Canadian because right now you're with Hamilton
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do some summer run with Toronto.
For sure.
So how long have you been here in the GTA for?
I would say I think I came out in like middle of May.
Mm-hmm.
Before the season started. I want to say that a little around June. So in between then, but it's definitely been great though for
Right.
sure. It's mad love in the city. I've received a well welcome. So it's lit. It's a great time to be in the city right now.
So when you arrive at Hamilton, you're coming
Mm.
off of a championship with Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, my boys
Vipers,
RGV for sure.
right? With one of my boys, Fiondu, who was on that team.
My dog, big fella, big fella. Fiondu, you already know the vibes, Big Fee.
Congrats on the two-way with the
Facts.
Celtics.
That's a fact. He went out there and earned that.
What was the calculus like trying to go, deciding to go to play with the CEPO, relatively unknown league up until this year? What sold you on it?
Honestly, my agent, I just told him that I wanted to play. I felt like I'm still a young guy. After the season ended, the NBA is kind of over with. The rosters are pretty much set. So I just wanted to find a way to still play competitive basketball, keep myself in shape. Like I said, I love the game. I kind of that training thing is nice, but to be able to play competitive basketball, as much as possible for me, I feel like that's the best way for me to get better. And my agent told me that there was an opportunity out here. I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what was going on. But the game of basketball will make you travel to places you've never been before, and that's the beauty of it. And it's been match made in heaven for me personally.
How'd you find? What were your expectations heading into it versus actually being there and playing? Like, was the talent
Where
level?
here?
Yeah,
Or
for the
here?
CEPO,
Yeah.
do you think the talent level was on par with what you're sold, or were you kind of like, oh no, this is real?
No, I mean, I definitely saw the list of guys who, some guys have come out here and got NBA contracts. Moon, Lindell was with the Honey Badgers last year. I just played against him, in summer league, and he was on the NBA deal. So just it was definitely like seeing guys, get to the league. So I knew it was possible. Obviously, that's what I'm trying to do. But I didn't know what the competition was going to be like, just personally for me playing, but it's been good. I've had some good matchups, played against Jalen Harris, Cat Barber, Deng Adele, who I knew from the college days. So it's been good basketball. The league definitely has good basketball.
Right. So did you see it as a possible path to a summer league stint to an NBA contract? Like that actually
Yeah,
probably
for
does
sure. I
probably
mean,
benefit.
yeah, because I'm gonna give my best. I'm gonna put my best foot forward,
Mm-hmm.
and my agent and I are on the same page of like where my goals are
Right.
and the work that I need to put in to be able to obtain those goals, and him putting me in a place where I could do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it was just perfect. When me not having any experience or idea what was
Right.
gonna happen, I it was the best decision for me for
So
sure.
what are you gonna do, or what are you doing right now to like counteract fatigue? Because you're going from a full-on season
Hmm.
to the CEBL,
Hmm.
not much of a break between the two, especially after you have the extended season championship run.
Facts, facts.
Then you go to summer league midseason,
Hmm.
coming back to here,
Hmm.
and of course there's going to be, I'm assuming, something come September, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Camp is at the end
how are
of
you staying
September.
fresh?
You just got to take care of your body. That's the approach. That's being a pro on off days,
Mhm.
on practice days, on game days. Excuse me. Just making sure you take care of your body. So I mean, it's a grind. No
Yeah,
one said it ain't. No one said it's easy,
right.
in no shape, way, or form. But if you really want it, you're gonna do what you have to do.
Yeah. Are you still in contract negotiation phase right now? Like, have you declared where you're
Nah,
playing next year? Like,
nah, that stuff is
th-
all
that stuff's on the wraps.
day at a time.
Okay.
Day at a
Because
time. Yeah.
I didn't want to make sure. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Nah, yeah, just I'm day at a time right now. I'm where my feet are at, and right now I'm
Mm.
in. You feel me? I'm with Hamilton.
Yeah.
I'm in the CBL, and we still making this championship push right now.
Yeah. What, 12-3, 13-4, something like that, right?
First place,
First place. That's
first
all.
place,
That's all you gotta know.
first place.
So let's move on to the second leg of your Canadian tour with
Hmm.
the Toronto Raptors.
Hmm.
Uh, First of all, you have another. They had a pretty decent deep roster
Nah, for
there
sure. We
with
were
draft
stacked.
picks. I was really interested to see a Bukajat, but when he got
Yeah,
his
Boo.
run,
Yeah, he did his thing. Obviously he didn't play as much as he may wanted to, or but when he got in, he definitely shout out my boy Boo. You did your thing
I
for
mean,
sure.
he touched the court as soon as I got into my plane to go home. So
Yeah, that's
that
yeah,
was
that's tough. And he
jeez.
did, yeah, he did his thing. He definitely did his thing for sure.
What's the son thing? What
Son,
son, grandson? Everybody's
nah,
telling each
not
other.
grandson is crazy, but
All right,
son, that's just
grandson.
that's just the New York vibes. Like, you feel me? Like Justin Champagne. That's my son when you see this. But nah, it just means that's your boy, that's your homie. You feel me? But in New York terms, if that's your
Yeah,
son, you feel me? That's your
that's
little
your.
boy. So yeah, it's just a little joke.
Yeah, because I've been seeing all the interviews. Everybody's
Yeah,
this is my
nah.
son.
Justin is my son. Delano, my son. Ron, all my sons. So young, good youths, good youths, good youths.
um, when you we're gonna talk about college in a second.
Hmm.
But you had decommitted from UNLV
Well,
and you go to UConn.
hmm.
Obviously, summer league is pretty much
Yeah,
on UNLV campus.
facts.
Do you ever think? Were you thinking about it at all? Like,
No, that was I honestly wasn't. Obviously I was going there with plans of going to the NBA
yeah.
too, but just being I hadn't been to Vegas. I went there for the G League showcase, but it wasn't at UNLV.
Mhm.
But the last time I was at UNLV and Thomas and Mack and everything is when I was on my visit. So it was
Mhm.
kind of like weird being back in the desert and
Yeah.
it being summer league. It was a weird vibe, but it was a great experience. So it was,
Right.
it was good to be back.
I always wondered, like, when they take a 17, 18-year-old kid on a recruiting trip in Vegas.
No comments, man. No
No,
comments.
not you specifically, but I
Yeah.
just mean like in general. I'm like,
Nah, the
dude, this
visit was crazy.
the
The visit was
place in a
crazy.
nutshell is wow. You don't got to be a ball player. That place
Nah,
is
nah, it's
insane.
nuts. It's nuts for sure. My mom wasn't happy about that. She didn't. She did not play any role in making that decision when
Yeah,
I committed. I can say that for sure.
and she's real happy with Connecticut. I was
Nah,
like,
she chose Connecticut actually.
yeah. What goes? So was it a coaching change or something that
Yeah, it was
happened?
a,
That
yeah, it was a coaching change, and I was able, shout out to my uncle. He's been guiding me throughout my whole experience,
Mhm.
just life. But he knew that the business of what the NCAA was and everything like that, and it turned out that once some guy signed a letter of intent and it
Mhm.
locks them in no matter what, and you kind of give all your rights away. But he was able to help me stay in a position where I didn't do that just in case a
Right.
coaching change happened. And unfortunately it did. But fortunately I was able to, be able to move freely after that and not be stuck to a
Mhm.
situation I hadn't committed to.
Yeah, no, and that's an incredible, important
for sure.
leverage play. The players forget that
No.
you are
Nah, it's a business, even with a scholarship.
but
It's been a business.
you're also like the prize of the whole dynamic, right?
For
You
sure.
have leverage. You
For
don't
sure.
have to
Nah, you
give
don't.
in.
Yeah, but that's the business side of it, you know. And unfortunately, not everyone knows that. You know, and business is business, as people say. But I'm thankful for sure for him for being able to know what was going on, and because I did it. You know, I was an 18-year-old kid, 18, like going on 19, so I didn't know nothing. I just knew I wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah, it was a good visit.
It was a great visit. Shout out Derek Jones. Shout out Derek Jones, Steven Zimmerman for it.
When you get to Connecticut, and I'm sorry to bring this up.
Nah, it's all good.
I read
Tough
first
times
losing season in 30, but that's another first year head coach, I think.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't a first year head coach, but it
first
was
year with that team, or
yeah, with that person,
yeah,
with that group. But yeah, it was tough. It wasn't the best of situations. You know, it was definitely a lot of adversity,
right.
and you know, I'm just glad that my career didn't end the way it started. I'll say that.
What was a couple highlights over at UConn?
Highlights at UConn. Highlights at UConn.
Was the women's team still dominating at that point?
For sure, they were still going. They were still on their 100-game like win streak. Like I got to experience that live. That was honestly one as like a spectator fan, you know, fan view of the game. It was being at that 100 win game was crazy. It was like hundreds on the tickets, and it was crazy. It was wild.
How many years is that then? 100 games? That's got to be.
I think it's like 4 or 5 years, something like that. Insane. They different. They different. Shout out to the women's team.
So that's national championship every year type of thing, or is that just regular season, or is that like?
Yeah, I would.
I think
something like
they were dominating.
No, they were wild. They were. Nobody was messing with them at all. At all. Some of them. I mean, my freshman year, I got to hoop with some of them. So you know, it was. And you know, the men's and women's team, we're tight. You know, it's a family atmosphere. So definitely to see them go crazy, you know, in person too, like go to the games, it was definitely tough for sure.
But so going back to a highlight, anything stick out in particular?
Highlight, I'll say my first double-digit game. Yeah. Maybe that's the first time like, damn, I really produced in a UConn game as UConn guard. You know, that's something that obviously being from New York, that holds a lot of weight to me personally. Wins at the Garden against Cuse. You know, that's definitely big time. I think what was my first 30-point game came my sophomore year. That was pretty dope. And I'll say senior year, just senior year, the way it ended, you know. Obviously it didn't end in a highlight with COVID happening, but just the way everything was going on, how it was happening, my end run was crazy. It was crazy.
Let's go back to the sophomore year. You must have been part of that first batch of players that got to test the waters in terms of NBA eligibility with still the possibility of returning. It must have been like within a year of that being allowed,
for sure,
type of thing. What goes into that thought process, and then what do you learn out of that situation?
Yeah, first really just did it because I knew what I wanted to do. You know, it was a coaching change going on at the school. I didn't really know how what the direction of the program was gonna go to. So I was like, you know what, might as well test it, and just ended up coming back, and it and that's part of life. You know, you make decisions, but I hadn't over leveraged myself. You know, I hadn't I still kept that door open, which I'm thankful for. You know, at the end of the day. And it's just experience. You know, this is my first time going. This is still my first time going through all of this, but especially as I was like 21, 22 at the time or whatever. So it was like still young, still trying to figure this whole thing out, still trying to see how I could best live out my dreams.
Yeah, sorry, I had to chuckle a little bit because I think they're just testing out the buzzers downstairs.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I'm sure that's gonna get picked up. But so when you it's like you don't declare for the draft, but you get to like test the water, or is it declaring and then you come back?
You could call it how you call it. You know, you could see what the vibes are. You know, to put it in better terms, better understanding. But yeah, I saw what the vibes were, and it looked like the vibes were go back to school. You know, or keep it 100 with you. It was go back to school, go back, work on your game, become a more polished player, more polished person. You know, grow up. You know, and I think I did that from the beginning of it to my decision to go back to school to me ending up ending it. I think if you just look at the film, you look at my body, you look at just articles, everything. I grew up from year one to the way I ended it. I mean, what other way do you want to go about something?
Right.
I ended better than I started,
Right.
and I could go to sleep at that.
So you took it to heart, the things,
Yeah,
the criticism
sure.
that you're getting from the NBA.
Sure.
It's kind of dumb that you have to declare for the draft just to get that feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it is what it is.
like I feel like
It's the business. It's the business.
It's just red tape. It's
Yeah.
just like I feel like if there's players that are interesting to the teams, they should be able to be like, hey, like you put X, Y, Z.
Hey, if everything worked the way I wanted to, it would be a different story. But
Right.
it is what it is. But I mean, it's all good. You just navigate. You try to put the best team around you. You know, try to keep a great head on your shoulders. You know, as much as possible. Just take it day at a time and be present where your feet are. You know, and like I said to my point earlier, just me being back here. You know, obviously the goal is the NBA, and you know that's gonna come when it comes. But right now, I'm in Hamilton. I'm with my CBL team, and we about to go get another chip. Go get a chip. I don't know if we ever won before.
I don't know either. You're putting me on the spot.
After this year,
I'm supposed to know.
Yeah, it's all good though.
But
you'll know after this season.
I wanted to drag you back to the past again, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you finished school at UConn.
Mm-hmm.
You declare for the draft. You test those waters again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read something about a German team.
Yeah, I was in Germany for like a couple weeks.
What happens?
Just another experience, you know. Just it was. I think the draft was like delayed. I believe the draft. Yeah, the draft was delayed that year. So
that's the pandemic year.
Yeah, that was the pandemic. So you know, so it was the pandemic. You know, it was the pandemic. Any other year, I don't think I'm going there. But like I said, it was an experience. It was an experience, and I'm grateful for it. I learned a lot about myself, you know, and it was definitely great to see basketball out there. I've never been out the country like that or for basketball. So just like I said earlier, the game of basketball taking you places that you've never been before. So now, I mean, I got a Germany stamp in my passport. So you know, I wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for the pandemic or anything. So.
And do you sign a contract with Memphis right after?
Yeah,
that?
so I came home just the NBA season was starting back up, and I just was like, I'm gonna put my time towards that. And I ended up signing with Memphis. You know,
what's the time period? Sorry to cut you off. What's the time between Germany and then Memphis?
Not too long. Not too long.
So it's the greatest comeback in history of sports. Like,
nah, I wouldn't say that.
I would say that.
But I definitely felt better signing with Memphis, though. I'll say
exactly,
that for sure. It was love. They took care of me over there. I appreciate what they did for me.
And to dive a little bit deeper into that, they really did take care of you because. Is it a physical you're waiting to play, and then you find out?
Yeah, I found out I had a myocarditis like the night before the game. Mm-hmm. I'm in the Normatec, you know. I'm doing my pregame prep, my pre-night prep and everything like that, and I get some of the worst news I ever got, you know, in my life, and it was tough. It was humbling because you know I just went over there with expectations coming right off a all first team, you know, conference, you know, run, you know, in the American. Thinking I'm about to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time in my career, and that not happened. And you know, you just have your whole idea of how pre-draft and the draft process is supposed to go, and obviously, like because of the pandemic, you know, it didn't go that way. So it was just tough to it was tough to receive that news after knowing what it took to be able to get the news to be able to sign with them in the first place. But yeah, it was tough. I found out in the bubble, but you know, I was with a great group. And like I said, I appreciate them dearly, and I had decided to, you know, just stay in the bubble. Just knew I was gonna have to see these guys on the court at some point. You feel me? And they was gonna have to see me, so might as well get used to seeing my face. And so I stayed down there, and it was just a positive vibe. Like my boy Shaq, you know, my boy Ahmad, my boy D-Nell, you know, it was, and Coach Jason, you know, the staff. They took care of me. They helped me, you know, mentally, physically. You know, I was doing my pool workouts in there, so it was an experience. I was like, let me not waste, you know, and I didn't. You know, I came back the next year and I went harder.
What a bizarre set of circumstances, though, right? So, like, you have this German whatever fallout.
Experience? No, not a. It wasn't. It wasn't a fallout. I'm still good with them. It was just.
It was just a.
Yeah, it was an experience. I say it was an experience.
Dig very deep just to find it because I like doing like a timeline, trying to see trace out where, and then it's just like. pit stop Germany, Memphis Grizzlies. I'm like, okay, this is the greatest comeback story of all time.
It was just a little. It was just a little pit stop.
Right.
I went to go see the world during the pandemic.
But holistically, so it's just a bizarre set of circumstances because you're going from Germany to Memphis. You're in a bubble.
Yeah,
that's not even a thing.
Yeah, right? That was weird too.
And then myocarditis, which my mind goes to was that like a COVID thing? Was it?
Apparently it was related. I mean, I'll not come up here and say I'm a doctor, but
right.
I was told it was COVID related or something like that. So it just is what it is. But thank God I'm clear now. I appreciate, like I said, Memphis for taking care of me, the NBA doctors for helping me throughout that process, and still that's something you can't play with. You gotta check up on that. Excuse me, as much as possible. But I mean, I'm good now. I'm healthy now. I'm in the lab every day, and like I said, it was just an experience. I had to learn and grow from, which like I said, which I did, and I think it helped me for the next season.
Right. No, I mean, obviously, Rowdy. It's just, I try to put my head in. I try to put my feet in your shoes and try to think about how all that must
different shoes.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine, but it's just like I just imagine it's just
for sure. No, it was tough. It was trust. I had some tough times. There was some tough times, but they don't last. Tough people do. So
right.
You gotta keep going.
I've read that I've said read really weird, but I've read that you've worked out with John Wall in the past.
Yeah, I worked out with him down in Miami. Yeah, for sure. That's bro.
Is he any sort of relationship with him? You guys?
I mean, I met him actually through Rodney Purvis. Rodney is one of my big bros. From UConn. He was definitely in his last year when I was going into my freshman year, and we stayed in contact. Obviously, stayed in contact since then. But I just met up through him. Was at the runs down at Remy's workouts, and it's just he was on the court. Once you go into basketball is basketball. There's some great runs down there, and I just met him from there. We went at it on the court. He kind of gave me like I kind of felt like I got acknowledged by a #1 pick by John Wall. You feel me? So it definitely like you just helped, and I wasn't scared to pick his brain. I think he respected that about me, and he gave me some great advice that I still carry with me today.
Are people underestimating what the Los Angeles Clippers are doing by picking him up?
That was tough what they did. That was very tough. While keeping Reggie Jackson as well, they got a nice squad over there.
So, how long ago? When's the last time you worked out with Wall?
It was probably when I got back from Germany. It was going into the bubble. Honestly, he actually helped me get my confidence for real because I was like, shit, if I could go against the #1 pick, who can I go against? So it was after Germany actually before going to the bubble.
Right. So and I think Wall had been healthy since the bubble. I think Houston shut him down.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the
some weird thing, but like I think he's
he's definitely getting back, and he's back now. So that's all that matters.
Insane roster they got there.
Facts. That's tough. That's tough what they got in LA right now.
Last thing I got to pick your brain on.
For sure.
It's one of the first things that come up when you do research on you. Is the good old chess days?
Chess. Not the good old. They're still going on.
Are you still rocking it?
Yeah, for sure. You got to.
You ever hustle anyone with it? Be like, and teammates on the bus, be like, yo, I bet, just pretend you don't know what you're doing.
Nobody really. We don't really do that. But it's definitely competitive. It's definitely, life related, to me personally. And it's just it's another, you got to have stuff to do off the court,
I started to cut you off, but you said life related, and I want to pick
for sure.
What life parallels between you?
Just certain moves in life you make, it's hard to come back from them. Right. If it's a detrimental move, some moves could set you up for success. Mm-hmm. You can't just win in one move. You can't win in life in one move. So it's just a lot of things that like the game could teach you. Patience as well, which I've had to do. With this with my professional and just basketball experience. So I think it's just and it calms you down. You can't be screaming and rapping and doing a whole bunch of stuff over a chess game. It's more relaxed and calm. So I think it helps me off the court, so I could do my thing on the court.
What expectations do you have for yourself after everything you've been through, after all these ups and downs, and getting to experience Canada and going to Vegas and doing all these things? What's the expectation for 2022, 2023?
To keep going. to put myself in a better situation than I was last year. You know, I think I've done that with every step, with every year in my career so far, and I think that formula has worked for me. You know, I'm here talking to you. You know, in a country that I haven't been to since I was probably like 5, 6, a kid. So it's like just keep working. You keep working, keep being a good person, keep opening doors. You know, with my personality, with my game, and to just keep going, and don't let nothing stop it.
Do you have a bucket list of things you want to accomplish?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But I'm gonna keep it to myself though.
What about outside of basketball? Do you have any other place you want to visit? Any
Yeah,
things you want to
definitely,
experience?
definitely want to see the world. You know, I want to give back
Yeah.
what so many mentors and so many people in life and in basketball have given to me. You know, I think it would be kind of selfish to keep that because I've been able to experience some really great situations and people. You know, and like I said, in both sides of life. So I think just to continue to keep myself in a position to learn from the best. So you know, when it's my turn to share it, is I could do it. I could share it at my best ability.
I want to go not rapid fire, but kind of just I have scatterbrain right now because now a bunch of things just popped into my head.
For sure.
Growing up in Queens, any legendary Rutgers Park runs for you?
No, I actually did. I actually did play. I won't say not in Rucker Park, but I played at halftime
Okay.
of a Knicks game when
Oh
I was
yeah.
kid. When I was a kid, that's back like when Nate Robinson, Channing Frye,
Right.
Jamal Crawford was there. So that was a dope experience. Was it Rucker Park? I did something at halftime
Yeah.
too. I did something at halftime too. It was like, it was like the 2 minute game or something,
Right.
like they let the kids run around while it's halftime. So I definitely remember that one.
So you were a kid star. You were halftime everywhere.
No, I was not. I was blessed. I was
Yeah.
blessed. I'll say with the right people in the right situation for sure.
Having a chess background,
Hmm.
have you ever just pulled up to one of the parks where the chessboard's like in the
Facts.
table and just taken
Facts.
an old man one on one?
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. We were out in we went to go play Fraser Valley, and I had to
Yeah.
go get some sneakers,
Yeah.
and in the mall they had like all these old dudes like
Yeah.
playing chess and stuff, and I made me and the driver just sit
Right.
there and watch. It was probably like 30 minutes to an hour. You know, it was old guys too, so
Yeah.
they know the game, so they thinking a
They're
hundred moves.
ready.
Yeah, they're thinking
They
a
did this
hundred moves.
yesterday.
Yeah, facts. So that was definitely great to see too, because just seeing the game, in a different country, just knowing it translates,
Yeah.
So just like basketball, it's just fun to be around, and it's one of my passions.
As someone that actually invested in chess and like likes it,
Hmm.
have you ever seen those big boards like
For
the
sure,
resort stuff with the
yeah,
giant?
obnoxious boys,
Are
yeah,
those
for
like
sure.
disrespectful to like the chess community? Like, what
Uh,
do we think?
uh, they're more like for show, I would
Yeah.
say. I don't think no one really playing on them type of
Right.
boards, but it's just to show you how big the game is, how large the game is.
Yeah, I feel you. When you just take it right back to the beginning,
Mm.
after you guys take down Scarborough, J. Cole, Drake's there.
Hmm.
J. Cole walks by, and the quote was,
Huh?
what was your quote?
Oh
I think I
shit!
picked. Oh
Sorry
shit,
for the curse, Ma.
it's all
Sorry
good.
for the curse. She ain't like
But
that one,
yeah,
but
oh shit, it's Cole.
yeah, nah. It was just because I mean, after the game, you can't. It's over with
Yeah.
now, so now it's just coming down to relax, and then it's like, oh shit, you feel me? It's like that was my most honest, most pure reaction. It was just like, damn, it's really cold. Like
Yeah.
I just played against him. He's really in the building right now. He's walking by me. I'm the one being interviewed. Like it's just, Drake is in the building. It's just a lot going on.
Right.
It was a crazy scene.
So you were able to separate it from game time and actually like take it in post
Yeah,
game.
you have to, and it was a great experience. He went to St. John's. I'm from Queens, so St. John's is no more than 20 minutes from my house. So it was just like me knowing that, and just us being in this environment.
Right.
Like I said, it was a dope event. It was a dope scene. So it was just cool, and
Yeah.
I got caught on camera with a moment, went viral.
I
Had a
think I saw
viral
highlights, Bleacher Report, all that.
Yeah, it was a viral moment.
But
I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that crazy, to be honest.
Oh.
I'll say that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think it was really that, but I take the followers, I guess.
No, but people also sleep on the fact that J. Cole did go to St. John and he hooped.
Mm-hmm.
He was a D1 hooper, and I think it was more him being older now as opposed to him.
Yeah, he loved the game. You feel me? He loved the game.
But I thought he was like, look, he
hit a 3. It wasn't against us. But I saw like the highlights of him like scoring and stuff like that. So it's definitely lit for the league. You know, definitely great exposure.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that out of place. Like, is it a different level? Yes, but like,
yeah, for sure.
Given his history, he's also not that small.
I don't think he was the worst player in the league. I say that. I'll give him. You know, I don't.
Follow-up questions, but I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, no. I'll end it. I don't. He's not the worst person. He's not the worst person in the league to me. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Guys, this is Christian Vital. Thank you so much for taking the time, dude. It's been a lot of fun. Season's about to wrap up. Best of luck there.
For sure.
And let's get another ring. That's gonna be second ring of the year.
Hey, I see what I'm on, man.
End it up.
For sure.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.